Hi, this is Brian Van from sportbiketrackgear.com, and today we're going to do a video review on a helmet that was new for 2008. This is the Icon Airframe. We kind of delayed doing this video just a little bit because I had gotten this helmet for myself initially, for testing purposes, and I got it in a size medium from you, which is, it felt pretty good, but it wasn't tight enough in the cheek pad area. So we had to order in some small cheek pads, and it just took a while for me to get back to the track and do some riding in it. But size medium, I tuned it with some cheek pads. I like a pretty good snug fit, and we're ready for the review for sure. Let's give you a good 360 this helmet. There's a whole lot going on. Very cool shell shape, lots of detail, just like everything else Icon does. The name Airframe certainly would lead one to believe this helmet flows a lot of air, and let me just assure you that this helmet flows a ton of air. One of the first things that I noticed is that even at very moderate speeds, you don't have to be going 100 miles an hour in this to get good airflow. You're going 15, 20, 30, it just kind of, as I'm gridding up and going out, the first thing I'm like, oh my God, this thing has a ton of air coming in the helmet. Flows great air, just like you'd expect it to. They've done some unique things. I actually have just an EPS here because they came up with this different process to put the holes in the EPS in a certain way that allows it to flow even more air. And we'll see if the camera can kind of pick this up. The holes here in the front of the EPS are actually put in at more of an angle, okay? And that way when you're rolling, you're moving, the air doesn't have to be diverted, okay? It simply just flows right into the helmet. They had some special piece of equipment that I understand was fairly expensive, a different process to accommodate, that style of hole in the EPS. And you can see here at the very top a more traditional hole, and then they use the other process again here at the back. And let's just show you what this EPS looks like, Eric, if you want to give that a real good zoom. I think this is going to clearly display why they have dubbed this thing the Airframe. You can see how all 6 of these holes are kind of tied together with this system of channels up here in the EPS, and especially back here and the 2 intakes at the front. You can see how huge those holes are. And here's a couple more that are bored in the back. Those are some extractor vents around the neck. The dual stage EPS, the top portion here that would really receive the impact is a softer variety. I can clearly feel it here as I go to push in. And the stuff that's going to get closer to the head is more durable and denser, not as easily compressed. I do believe that Icon makes a very safe helmet. The head of Icon, Phil, is a great guy, very passionate about protection, and this helmet is something he's quite proud of, and for good reason. It's a great helmet. They knowingly build their helmets to the softer side of the Snell certification so it'll absorb more energy in an impact. And in testing, it's actually shown some of the data for some of the previous models that they've done very well, and they've achieved their mark of producing a very safe helmet. Remember, a helmet's primary function is to protect your head. Everything else is an afterthought. The Icon certainly accomplishes that. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the features it offers. You're going to notice the big intake vents at the front, multiple detents to tune it, positive engagement and disengagement. The mechanism feels nice and tight. I like it. I think it's going to hold up over the long haul. I've had 0 issues with my test piece. Please don't use this as a helmet handle. You could damage this. I mean, certainly you could carry it around like that. I'd kind of discourage it. The helmets aren't cheap. Hold it from the shell, but you've got your stabilizing wing back here, your exhaust vents here on the top. You've got some exhaust or extractor vents here. It's kind of formed into this rubberized piece that they use to trim out the bottom of the helmet shell. Lots of cool detail there. A lot of different lines. Certainly a bit of a fashion statement. Got some interior ventilation here, and we'll show you that from the inside when we get the helmet apart a little bit. And here is our chin vent. That's basically an on or off, just a slide vent. Got like a little pin lock system here for the shield. Pull up on it to release. You can clearly see the pin here. That's a safety feature, so if you go down, it keeps the shield closed. It's also really cool during high-speed head checks. You do not have to worry about the shield popping up whatsoever. This helmet comes with a chin curtain. I found that my helmet performed better with that chin curtain installed. Just kept the helmet a little bit quieter. Didn't influence the airflow in any negative way, so I like to leave my chin curtain in. Lots of cool detail here with the helmet liner. It's removable, washable, replaceable, and you can also order different size pads to tune the fit, as I had to with this particular helmet. This is the Icon Airframe. I like the way it feels. You know, I've used it for racetrack duty. I thought it was a good helmet for sure. I was very pleased with the performance. The airflow on the helmet is tremendous. It does produce a little bit of noise because of that, but you have to expect that. Any high flow air helmet, it's high flow air helmet, well that's funny, any helmet that flows a bunch of air is going to produce a little bit of noise, and it's fair to assume that, okay? So this is the Icon Airframe Part 1, benefits and features. Part 2, we're going to go ahead and take the helmet apart.